Hey everybody! Hi guys, AwesomelyNiri here, and I'm so excited for you guys to see this look, how I created it. This is my go-to classic glam look. This is what I like to do when I'm going out, or it depends if it's like somewhere fancy, out to the club. It really depends on where I'm going and who, obviously. So thank you so much for tuning in. Please do not forget to subscribe, and let's get started. So first things first, we are prepping and we are priming. Don't you dare put straight foundation on that face, because that is not what we do. You can use a moisturizer if you're not into primers. This weekend I did learn that Kim K's right hand man, Mario, he does not use primers. He uses a moisturizer, which is kind of mind-blowing, because you just, when you think makeup, you think primer then foundation, but I guess it's all in what you're used to, what you prefer, and what's good for your skin. So this is the combination I've been using. It is the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer, which I've used in previous videos, and this one is the Milani Prime Light. But it's like a very, it has a sheen to it, so it's a little shiny. It doesn't really come up in your foundation, but I like the idea of the shimmers being mixed in with the foundation, especially if you're taking a lot of photos. And you just rub it in as you would any other face cream. And you don't have to be as excessive, but I like the way that it gives that dewy finish. And then, so I'd like to coat it with the Maybelline Fit Me Dewy and Smooth Primer foundation. For concealer, Tarte Shape Tape in the shade Light Medium Honey. And we are just dotting, not rubbing, under our eyes. And with an upside down triangle form. And we're taking a mini sponge and dotting that out. Now it is time for setting powders. So as you can see, I have the sheen going on from the foundation. It is a dewy foundation. So even if it were a matte foundation, always, no matter what the finish is, set your foundation as well as your concealer. So what I'm gonna do now is take my trusty Laura Mercier powder and just dab very lightly under my eye for the concealer. We're going to let that sit for a little bit and move on to our face powder. And I am using the Super Stay Better Skin Maybelline powder foundation. It's a little bit darker than my usual Fit Me foundation, so I just got this one to see more or less how I felt about it, and I love it. I truly love it. So with this, we're just gently pouncing our brush, kind of like pushing the powder into our skin. And this powder is very tinted, so just make sure you get the right shade. Once that's on, we can go ahead and dust lightly under our eyes and take that powder away. Now let's move on to bronzer. This is a new one. It is from The Balm. It's called Bahama Mama, and in the back it says bronzer for a sun-kissed look, and I haven't used it before. We are using a Moda brush, contour brush. I'm hoping that this is my shade, and let's get to bronzing. So my camera cut off as I was applying the rest of my bronzer. I did apply some up top, my other cheekbone, and now I'm going to continue going on to the bottom. But I did say that whenever you are applying powders, or really any kind of product, but powders in particular, you need to be very, very careful as to how you place it and how much. So never, never, ever go in with a loaded brush, because that's just a recipe for disaster. You might say that yes, you will be able to blend it away, but you cannot ever take off product. Once you place it down, it's already on. So whenever you are applying bronzer, eyeshadow, just be very, very conscious of how much you put on, and always use a light hand, and always blend away. Make sure you are blending out after you place product down. I'm going to use the Maybelline Master Brush palette, and since we're going out, we're going for moody, I'm going to use this shade here, the darkest one, the darkest mauve shade. When I go out, I really don't like to use light shades, because it makes no sense to be looking all fresh faced in the club. Even if you're going out for dinner, it's just like nighttime setting. You don't want to look like you're going to a tea party. So I like to go for moody and darker shades, mauve shades for the face makeup. So next up, we are going to do eyes, and this has become one of my go-to palettes for literally everything. It's the Jaclyn Hill palette by Morphe, and this is what this beauty looks like on the inside. All of these shades, it's super affordable. I'm not sure if it's 40 bucks or it's a little less than, but it's so worth it because you have so many shade ranges in one palette. So when you're doing eyeshadow, you start off with your fluffiest, biggest brush. This is a Morphe R40. I do not use eyeshadow primer or anything else on my eyelids. I just have foundation on. So I'm going to go in with my very first shade just to soften up the foundation, because as you can see, it creased up and it creates lines. I'm gonna go with this very light shade right here just to soften up. I forgot what I pointed at, but tap off the excess and go in. And this is going all around. So my very first transition shade is going to be this mustardy yellowish shade. Also, I brought you guys in a little bit closer so you can see exactly what I'm doing and how it looks. So I'm going to use a Morphe G17 blending brush. It's kind of like this. Please focus. It's not my camera, it's my sister's camera. And I'm going to tap in, tap the excess, and this is going right here on the crease. This is my first transition shade. It's the only place I'm applying it to. And as you can see how I'm holding my pencil, I'm not like this. My pencil, oh gosh. I'm not holding it so closely onto the brush. I'm back here. I'm using a very light hand. These shadows are extra pigmented and I have more control when I hold it this way. So I'm just following the shape of my eye as I'm applying this shade. And I'm starting in the outer corner and bringing it up. Then I'll pick up more and more and build the color up. So this shadow is the highest your eyeshadow is going to be, so you're going to use that as a template so that as we go on and add more color, you know, not to pass this shade. Kind of like a light burgundy red shade, and it's going to go right under that creamsicle color right here. I don't know why it's that creamsicle, kind of like the ice cream, the orange one with the white in the middle. Yes. So yeah, I'm going to go in with an R39. As you can see, this one's much more tapered. It's a little more tapered than this brush that we used earlier with the orange color, and certainly this blending brush. So as you proceed with any eye color, your brushes are going to be much more tapered because we're going much more refined as we go through the colors. And obviously when you use darker colors, you're using much tapered brushes as well. So we're going to pick some up. Well, that was just 2 pounces. And we're going to go right under, so it's like right on the eye socket here. We're going to gently start in the outer corner and buff that in. As you can see, I barely touched the palette. Sheesh. And it's okay if you get some on your lid because we're gonna put more color on, so that's okay. Just focus this on your crease, blend it out, go back and forth. And if you feel like it ever overpowers the color you put before, which I did go a little too high, you just go back with your previous brush, pick up that older color, and you go back in with the previous color and go over it. And it diffuses the situation completely. As you can see, it looks like gradient. When you just go in with 1 shade or 2 shades and you don't blend properly, you don't get that gradient ombre effect. So sometimes you have to go back and forth between colors in order to get this kind of ombre feel, but just take your time and make sure you use the right brushes. I cannot stress enough how much the right brushes really do play a part. So now we're going to go in with our next shade, and it's slightly darker. It's the one right under the one that we used. It is right here. I just stabbed shit. It's the shade right here. And we're going to go in with an e.l.f. blending brush, and it looks just like this. And it's going to help us with this dark shade. And we're only patting that on the outer corner. Literally just tapping that in. What I like to do is do like a slanted line like this, like a, what's that lopsided triangle called? Like an obtuse triangle kind of feel. It's just gonna go like this, or kind of like a cat wing shape right there. That's where I like to focus my outer colors. And I'm counting that, gently tapping that only in the outer corner with that slanted effect. And when I no longer have much product on, I'm going to take that and I'm going to put it right here in my eye outline, not going all the way in, but just right here where the line is. So I'm picking more product up, pouncing, and then if you want to dot to give yourself a little outline, you can do that as well if you don't feel safe dragging that over. And if you feel you've taken that too high, once again, you just go back with your other colors, your previous colors on the previous brushes, and you just blend out. And you can lightly go over with the older color as well, your crease. Making sure everything is blended to perfection. We are never placing, moving around. We are placing when there's no longer product on. We just go back and forth. And that's how you get the blended out feel. So now for the fun part. So I purchased this palette at Generation Beauty, and I've been dying to use it. This is the Jouer Skinny Dip palette, and it's a foil shimmer shadow palette. I'm sorry, I'm trying to put this mirror back. But it comes with these foiled shadows. They're super pigmented. I haven't swatched them, but I've seen through other people how beautiful they really are. And as you can see, it's all metallic shades. They're just beautiful. Okay, maybe I'll just swatch one. I'm gonna go for this silver one. It's kind of calling my name. And I'm just gonna gently rub. What? I gently rub like 2 circles. And I'm going to swatch it on my hand. OMG. I didn't even press down into the shadow, but anyway, that was insane. I'm gonna go with this copper dark gold shade. It's called Tan Lines, and I'm going to use a Morphe G15 brush. This is what it looks like, and it's flat. It's a flat brush, and it has like that curved it has the curved little top, so that I can help you do the crease, help you place it onto your shadow up into the crease. So let's go in with Tan Lines, and let's brush it on. Wow, it's lots of glitter. So what I'm gonna do, just to intensify this a bit, I'm going to take some on my brush. I'm gonna use my prepping spray, and I'm gonna spray it just a little. You do not have to do this step. You can just continue to layer it, but just for like that wet look, I just wanted to see what it looks like. Woo! That is beautiful. And I'll just continue doing that until I've reached the full effect. One spray will do, fan it out, and then continue to go in. Like, can we please give this foiled eyeshadow a moment? Like, well, and when I am going out, like classic glam just means metallic eyeshadow, like lots of gold and silver, coppers. I like to do a glittery eye and something very moody, something very bold, and then the lip goes after. But this is what I normally go for, and so far looks great. So I'm going to add some eyeliner and some lashes, do my brows, and I'll be right back. Hello, and I am back. Lashes are on, and I used House of Lashes. These are the Iconic Lights. I love them. They are so like light and fluttery. Like, now I know why everyone raves about these so much, because they're super affordable and the band is so light yet sturdy. It was really easy to manipulate and put on. So yay for those. High five. These are the first times I ever put them on and I love them. I used the Voluminous Lash Paradise on the top just to make sure that my lashes and the faux lashes are together. I haven't used them on my bottom lashes yet. And for eyeliner, I am super obsessed with the M Cosmetics eyeliner. This has a felt tip. It's kind of like a marker and it's gorgeous. Like, it's beyond gorgeous. Let's move on to the bottom eye makeup, and we are using 3 very simple small brushes, and I'm going to use this one. It is a brand new Luxie 121. It's a mini tapered brush, and we're going to go in with that very light mustard, and I'm just going to lightly brush the whole bottom with that shade. Then we're going in with the lighter burgundy shade, and that is going in the front part. Actually, it's, you can put it in the whole bottom lash line, but it's much closer to the top so that you can still see the mustardy in the bottom. So right now we're creating that ombre gradient kind of feel. Then with a new brush, same brush but clean brush, we're going in with that dark burgundy on the very outside of the eye. Only the outside. For our bottom eyeliner color, we are going to use the Infallible Matte in Ultra Black. For highlighter, we're using this Ofra highlighter. It's the Everglow highlighter, and we're going to use the Champagne medium color, and we're going in with a Morphe Y17 brush. Then we're going to take a little bit of that same highlighter. Actually, let's try the lightest shade. And we're going to put that in our tear ducts to complete the eye look. And I am using a Morphe R41. Oh, shish kebab. I feel so guilty using a new finishing spray, but this is the MAC Fix Plus that everyone's been raving about. I haven't used it, so this is my first time. Okay, well, you had to get the pump going. Ooh. So it really depends on what I'm wearing or how I feel. So I know that the eye look is very bold, and that's usually what I go for when we're doing classic glam going out looks. And I wanted to show you how this look would look with a neutral lippy and a dark moody lippy. So this one is from Nude Sticks. It's the magnetic lip color. I've never used them. I only swatched it on my hand before, and I chose this look. It's called Boho. Wow, I'd say that definitely does complete this look, but the shade is beautiful. a beautiful shade. I'm not sure if the video was too dark, but I added my Lumi so that you can see this look a little bit better. And I'd say that it is life. Let me bring it a little closer. And now let's try this look with a darker lip. This is Morphe. I'm using the shade Nibble. It really depends on your outfit, your mood. If you want to do the lighter lip or the darker lip, you can definitely do either one. But this is the completed look.